Hello and welcome to Salud SA, San Antonio's premier health and wellness television show. I'm your host, Anastasia. On this show, we explore the diverse world of alternative healing and wellness. Each month, I feature interviews with local entrepreneurs and community members who have created unique businesses and groups centered around mind, body, and spirit well-being. This month, we're continuing an amazing discussion about dreams that we started in the last episode with Iz and Vic of Dreamworkers Lucid and Christy and Becca of 2hoesgardening. As I mentioned before, they're a wealth of dream knowledge and they understand the practice and potency of dream sharing. They also focus on lucid dreaming and exploring indigenous dream practices. Join us as we continue this discussion into the fascinating realm of dream exploration with these insightful souls. Well, welcome back, everyone. I'm so glad that we get to come to continue this conversation, and I want to spend a little time talking about your dream group. So, how did it get started, and what happens in a dream circle?
Okay. Well, I guess I can talk about it because I went to the first dream circle. So I'll just start by telling kind of me and Iz's story, how we met and connected about dreams, because we really connected about dreams, I think, first and foremost. I met Iz at a coffee crawl in fall of 2020, and I was checking out Porter's Coffee, which was inside of Hash Vegan Eats at the time, off South Flores. And that was Iz's business. She was making coffee there.
Really? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
She was making really good coffee.
Thank you.
I remember being like, this is good coffee. But something I also noticed was that even in just that brief interaction we had of meeting for the first time and being like a client, a customer, I noticed Iz's capacity to connect. And that's not something that happens every day. And when I say connect, I mean listening, being present, and knowing that I don't know, there was just something about the way that she connected with me, and I was like, that's really cool. So in this conversation that we had, I think she might have noticed that I had a snail pin on. We got to start talking about our dreams. I was talking about my yoga thing and how I'm learning to be slow, and Iz told me that she was really interested in dreams and that she had read this book called Sleep Yoga, and I was like, whoa, sleep yoga, tell me more. And from there she had said she wanted to do a dream circle, but she was so preoccupied with the business that one day down the line, I hope I get to do it. And so we stayed in touch over the next 6 months, and I saw on her social media and in Dreamworkers that the first dream circle was happening. And I was like,
she did it. And this was in 2021? Or
yeah, this was the following year. I was like, she's for real. Oh, wait, I said fall 2020. It was fall 2022.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm really bad at years because time, it's construct.
Yeah, right. But exactly. It's okay.
Thank you. I'm glad we're on the same wavelength there. So I saw she was doing the dream circle, and I was like, she's legit. I love seeing when people do, like I said, that doesn't happen all the time. So I went to her dream circle, and I just really resonated with the community there. It really felt like I had found my people. Mm-hmm. And I started going, I was going to every dream circle, and I don't know, we just had more and more conversations about all of the potential, the real kind of closeness and understanding and the learning that was happening in this really sacred space. And I loved that. I loved learning as I was going through the dream circles. And I think Iz saw that I was really kind of opening up and really holding the potential there. We could both feel it. And so when she asked me to join Dreamworkers, I was really honored, but it also was, I think it was a testament to her capacity to see, to really see what was happening. And that's why I really trust Iz. I really trust her. And I knew that when she asked me, she really trusted me to hold this space. And that's why, like, dream workers, like, I'm kind of along for the ride. And I think it's because, like, I know that this is a vision that Iz had, that I came into and said, this is good. This is something that needs to happen. I want to support you in growing it. I want this to be accessible. And so that's how I came into dream workers. But, you know, I don't know if I told all the stories.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Vic.
You're welcome.
Vic is my rock, for sure. Yeah, so kind of like how they mentioned, I had a business at the time, and so I was running a coffee business and just really occupied, like, being a full-time student and doing that having Dream Circle was definitely, like, in my dreams. It didn't feel like a distant dream, but it was definitely a dream of mine. And I have in my dream journal in maybe 2019 of what a dream circle is and how a dream circle would be. So, like, I think once, I didn't have that business anymore, I started to realign, like, what is it that you want to do? And the dream circles were still, was still very prominent and on the very top. And so I did some more, like, fine details and, like, creating, like, even the name of Dreamworkers. So, like, Dreamworkers itself is something that, like, I've learned is a concept that has already been created. But I think what made me so drawn to Dreamworkers is that, you know, our goal is lucidity. It doesn't have to be everybody's goal, but what I want to teach is lucidity, and it takes work. Yeah. And so, you know, we are dream workers, and we do work in our dreams, and whether that be, like, healing in our dreams or creativity, like, all of this takes some type of energy, takes some type of work. So doing more research of, dreams, because there's so much literature out there, but the thing is, like, what I love about dreams, it's like, it's not definitive, you know, like, nothing is for certain. And so, I think this is going to sound so cliche, but I'm like, you need to do it. Like, this is something you need to do. Dream circles are not something that happen in San Antonio. I don't even know how often they're happening anywhere, in the States or even in the world. And so I felt really inclined to be that facilitator, to be that space holder. I mean, I'm only human, and I will be vulnerable. Dream circles they're a lot for me. I get really timid, I get really nervous, I get all of these things because I remind myself that I am, like, the vessel to lucidity. And so sometimes I'm like, oh, like, if you don't say the right things, if you don't know enough, like, there's this beautiful concept, and I don't want to, like, get in the way of it. But I just have to remind myself that, like, I am still a dream student myself, and I am learning, and I learn every dream circle from other people's dreams. So I just told myself that, it had to be done. The space had to be done. And yes, Vic was very consistent in coming to
perfect attendance.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I wanted to be there.
I know. Yes. You are a dream worker, and just seeing them and how they facilitate and how they're a teacher, and so I think very naturally, like, they were able to give really good insight in Dream Circle. And that's what I love so much about it, is that, like, I encourage people to, like, this is a conversation. This isn't me lecturing you about dreams or how to lucid dream. Like, this is a space for all of us.
Can I just add, I'm going to jump in right there just because I love that you said that, because that's why I was so enchanted by the circle, because we're building a body of knowledge and wisdom. We can't really discuss our dreams. We can discuss our own personal dreams as an authority, but to talk about dreams universally, we need everybody.
Yeah.
And so it's really a collective body of knowledge that we're building together. And I think that's that's to me the most like compelling thing about this community in particular, is that all of us are authorities, and that conversation just flows. Because once people have that validation, that acknowledgement, then they really start to trust themselves. And so the space that Iz and I hold is like, yes, like, and we're just soaking it all in. We're learning afterwards. We get together and we talk about all of the things that have just like expanded our minds about what dreams can be.
Yeah, that's really interesting. When I lived in Austin for many years, and I attended a dream circle there regularly. It was held monthly, and the woman who ran it she was a therapist by trade, and she was also a professor at UT. I mean, she was much older. She was in her late 70s, and she would host this group. And so much of her way of giving guidance came from a Jungian perspective too, and on dreams, because that was, and I think she may have even written a book on dreams. Like she was a wealth of knowledge. Her name is Katya, by the way. But people would come and they would have their dreams written, and most of the people who were attending were older people who knew her, really well, and some of their dreams were so long, and I was like, wow, people have like such long dreams, I mean, they would bring like pages worth. And so the way she ran it was everyone would bring their dream if they wanted to share, and everybody got a copy of the dream, so everybody got to read, and then you would read your dream, and then she would ask you questions like, how you felt, what different things represented to you, what you thought of. And she had a relationship with, a lot of the people that were there. So I feel like she would really go, in depth with some of them, and get into the psychology and like, the whole rundown. But yeah, it was really interesting because that's the only dream circle that I had ever been exposed to. And then when I met Becca, and she was selling a dream tincture, for inducing lucid dreams or like helping with that. Then we started talking about dreams, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. I can't wait to try it. And I still haven't. It's delicious, and I drink it every night. But anyway, I wanted a dream group too, so we must have been on the same level of consciousness, because it was right around that time. It was like in 2022, or actually, it was probably, I met you in 2021, I think, in the very end. So, yeah. And because I was pregnant during that time. But we would, we did have a couple of dream circles, but it was really small and intimate. It was just us and like 2 or 3 other people, and we would meet online and we would share our dreams and kind of, question about it and just help ourselves. And it was just nice that, like, I felt like I could share, with Becca and like, gather other insights, because getting another perspective just gives you so much insight. Like, we don't see our own blind spots, but other people can. So yeah, it was lots of fun. So I totally feel you, and I think it's so awesome that y'all facilitate that space and have it for people, because I know that they walk away feeling very full and ready to go on in their next adventure.
Yeah, I think my favorite part after Dream Circle is like, I can't wait to go home to go to sleep and dream. It has yet to fail that one person hasn't said that every Dream Circle.
That's awesome.
I'm like, this is what I live for.
Where are we? So, okay. So along the lines of, I was talking about the tincture, right? What are some dream hygiene practices? And we've touched on them a little bit, I know that Vic and Christy, I think you both said, and I know Becca does too, the journal is very important, journaling and like keeping track of your dreams as best you can, recording them in some way. But what else? What else can we do? What's some good dream hygiene and tips maybe for lucidity? Anyone? Becca, do you want to start? Or Christy?
Go ahead, Christy. I was going to say, for myself, it's just something so simple. It could be very long, but for myself, I do make a point to take a rinse off of some sort with water, and just to rinse the day off and the energies. Depending on how heavy, maybe I'll take a bath or something like that. I definitely need to light at least one candle of some sort. I have these little ghee candles, and I'll do some little breath works and when I'm intentionally wanting to go to a space. And then from there, I visualize a lot of light, and I put that protection around me, starting from the inside out, and build it and make sure to put a very thick light around my bed and go from there.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great practice. I have that intention to set an intention, and I even have it in my phone, and it's like, Stacey, it's 10 o'clock, it's time to set your intention. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna lucid dream tonight, you know, and I have it listed there, but I do have kind of a short incantation / prayer or whatever, you know, just along the same lines as yours, Christy, just that, you know, that I be protected, and that this, you know, white light is always like really nice for me too, to visualize. And that was kind of a new thing for me. Before it was just the intention, but I had been hearing more and more, you know, about having that protective space. And yeah, and just like Vic was saying too, you know, I mean, it's nice to have that protection, you know, even, you know, you never know, right? So just might as well put it there, right? So yes, I think that practice sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear.
You're like,
Honestly, I don't know anything about Becca's sleep ritual. I'm
My
curious.
sleep ritual.
Sleep practice.
Okay, well, so I would just say that I do not journal regularly like I should. But that's okay. Like, I think as far as hygiene goes, you know, all the things that can make us feel a little bit more at ease and safer to go into the world of dreaming, those are always going to be the things that we need to be doing, right? And just to getting some clarity too. So if you want to journal beforehand and just kind of set your intention like that, and then it's just right there when you're ready to wake up and write down your dream or whatever you encountered while you were sleeping, I think that those are the easiest ways to do those things, you know. And then I mean, I love plants, of course, and so I'm always going to go to things that smell really strong, or, you know, like lavender, helping us getting to that point of relaxation and sleep. And then delving a little bit more into, like, well, do I want to brew this tea that is supposed to help me not only get to sleep, but also can help me to kind of activate that part of the mind that is going to give me that REM and lucid dream type sleep. So and those are all very powerful triggers. So the smells, the tastes, you know, and just like the way that our body responds to any kind of plant or herb is always going to be it becomes part of our ritual. And when we continue to do that over and over again, it's going to be easier every time. Just like, you know, journaling.
yeah, I hear you. You know, some mornings it's like fast and furious, and I don't have a chance to jot it down. And I do feel that there's so much power in the pen and paper, you know. But I'm definitely have a bazillion dreams saved in my phone where I would just like talk into. I'm like, to try to remember, you know. And I think all of it, you know, all of it's valid and all of it's helpful. But I do love the journal.
Yeah.
It's really something connects, you know.
One thing too that I think is really simple that people don't always tap into, and you were saying it, that, you know, you like to tell your friends about your dreams. I find that it's so important that we do tell somebody, or if just not just like telling ourselves, or you know, the cat. You know, like, just say it out loud, because when you say it out loud, it's very different, and you can have a different perspective of what you dreamt too, because you're like, well, how would I describe that? Like, I know exactly what went on in my head or what went on in this dream, but if I'm describing it, it can sound, and you can interpret it very differently, and other people can too, which is helpful.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Becca, would you mind sharing a little bit, since you know a lot about plants and foods and things? So tell us the fermented food trick.
Oh.
I'm always like, don't forget.
So dreams and let me back up here. Sleep and digestion are hand in hand. So anything that you are eating, you know, right before bed, or hopefully you're not eating right before bed, because that can be a hindrance to your sleep pattern or your sleep healing. Anything that is good for digestion, if you're hungry, you should eat, like a pickle or some kombucha if you want to drink something before bed. And so that's going to start working on your digestion, clearing things out, so that way all the hormones that are present in, because all of our sleep and mental health hormones, they tend to kind of jive in the stomach. So if you are eating something that is going to help with your digestion, then you're more likely to have that energy go to the process in your mind that helps you with REM sleep and lucid dreaming sleep. So I like a pickle, maybe right before bed. And that usually helps, but also just some general herbs that can help us get to that point of relaxation. I mean, I love passion flower vine, lemon balm. As far as inducing more active sleep patterns, definitely mugwort. I'm sorry, Mexican mint marigold. I was blanking on that one. Those are some of the more gentle ones. And
I was thinking. I was thinking about that because I have my tincture, and on most nights I'll drink some of it, but sometimes I take a little bit of melatonin too. But I'm really sensitive to melatonin, so I take like the tiniest. I have to get it in the vial, the one, where it's 1 milligram, because I'll never wake up if I take more than 1 milligram or half actually. And so anyway, I take the tincture, and I was like having this little dream that you would have like a tincture making party, and we could all make our dream tincture, and we could, everybody can bring like a donation for the herbs and the alcohol, and we mix something up, and you could teach us about it.
let's do it.
Yeah,
I want to do it.
Didn't you just get the
distiller?
Yes.
Yeah, but you want to do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Have it wait for 6 weeks.
You can take, everybody can take home their jar.
A 6-week-long party.
Yes, and you can watch it. And have it there like a little baby.
No, we could definitely do that.
Yeah, I was dreaming that. I was like, I think that's gonna be. I'm gonna hit Becca up for that because I used to be in years ago when I lived in San Antonio before I moved. I was part of the San Antonio Herb Society, and there was a woman there who was an herbalist, and she used to, you get bulk herbs that were, good quality. And we would make tinctures and stuff, and it was so fun. And we didn't make dream tinctures though, and so it's like, and I miss that. I love it. It's like witchy. It's fun. It's
We can do that.
All right, let's do it. That's done. And so it is.
So it is.
Let's see. Well, let's see where we're going to wrap up here in just a bit. So we've kind of talked about, we really have talked about the benefits of sharing in community and Dream Circle, but are there any final thoughts that anyone would like to share, or experiences, or anything about the realm of sleep or sharing in a circle, or its importance?
Yeah, I guess I kind of want to echo on what Becca was saying on how you're the one witnessing your dreams, but to be able to put it into words and to truly describe how the dream could be really, you can get new insights even with yourself within saying it out loud. And so I remind people, and I tell people, I am not a dream interpreter. I think that's really hard, and especially when you have little context of the person and what they've experienced. Sure. And so I'm thinking about how you said the Dream Circle, and how she knew these people on a more personal level. So then it was more obvious for her to make these connections. And with someone I just met, maybe I don't even know your name, and they're like, oh, I had this crazy dream. What does it mean? Right. And I'm like, well, how did it feel? So, I will ask these questions as well as how did you feel? And what does, a blue car mean to you? And that's where Vic and I, that's where Vic and I balance each other, because they practice a more symbolism than I do. And for me, I'm a very what's the word?
Literal.
I'm a very literal person. So my dreams are very obvious to me. Oh, you dreamt this because of this, this, and this. Versus Vic is the other way. more like abstract and
Yeah.
ambiguous. And so whenever we share, you know, in circle, we're all interpreters, you know, we're all like, can give insight. So there's one dream circle where I took a more literal approach, and Vic was like, "Oh, do you feel anxious lately?" Or like, you know, things within that realm that it now gave that person two perspectives where they can now take both of that home with them.
For
you know.
sure.
So I tell people, like, whatever best resonates with you, and we all have different perspectives. We all come from different life experiences that can help someone dissect their dream a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds like such a nice balance, you know, between the two. You've got the literal and then the more symbolic. Yeah. I wonder. I think I dream more in the symbolic realm too, because sometimes like, this is so weird. And I have to do all this word
Tell me about
association, and I'm like, I get it now. Yeah, I think I know
No,
what you're
our
trying to tell me.
psyches, we're all so different. Everyone
Yeah.
has a different data bank.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I love it.
Yeah.
I love hearing other people's dreams too. I'm just like, wow, that's so cool. I can't wait to do that, or you know, or like I never thought of it like that, or wow, I can dream like that.
You know, I think too, like beyond just, you know, I'm thinking as far as the benefits of being part of like a dream circle or this space, we get to talk about sleep. And sleep is something that people don't
deprived of.
prioritize.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
me and Iz were just joking with each other today because we've had like a really active, there's been a pretty active last few weeks.
Yeah.
Sleep has not been a priority. And so I think I say that just because like being part of a dream circle really, it's just putting that priority up again. Like we're just moving it up the list,
Yeah.
okay? Like I
Yeah.
do want to get better sleep.
Yeah.
I do want to have better dreams. Not better dreams, but like more fulfilling dreams, satisfying dreams. And so I think when we experience these patches of just kind of like, man, I'm not getting the sleep I want. I wish I could rest more. You know, it's a good time to go to a dream circle if that's
Yeah.
something that you are experiencing, or if you just need a little check-in. Like,
Yeah.
just get back into it. It's not, doesn't mean you're a lost cause. Like,
Yeah.
we're all going through this, right? And, you know, you're talking about how you're taking care of your baby at night,
Yeah.
and it's like, how many people are in that situation of like, what
Yeah.
do you mean I can't get good sleep?
Yeah.
You can, but when you prioritize something, you plan for it. And I think that's the biggest thing, right? Is like planning that time.
Yeah.
Putting it in your calendar and
Yes.
saying,
Time to sleep.
I'm going to sleep. you
Yeah,
know?
well, it's me, 10 o'clock. Hitting the hay.
And I loved how you were, Becca, I think you touched on it a little bit, but just like that sleep is healing.
Yes, it is.
It's healing.
It
It's
really is.
I just learned the name of that system, the glymphatic system. The
Glymphatic.
the glymphatic system, which is washing our brain. It's washing our brain of all of the plaques, right? All of the toxins. Cleans it. If we're not sleeping, that doesn't happen.
Oh, man.
So
We need to sleep. Well, thank you all so much for being here. It was my pleasure. And just tell us really quickly where we can find you.
you can find us on Instagram at dreamworkers.lucid.
So you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at 2hoesgardening and 2hoesgardening.com, and then also our nonprofit where we have also helped and met dream workers hosting events. You can find us on the Well Cooperative right now,
Well
or the Well
Cooperative.
at Tecolote.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
right.